Today I'm here with men's basketball head coach Jeremy Currier and athletes Karl Chavis, Kolbe Ashe, and Karl Cleveland to catch up with the men's basketball team before they kick off the 2024 season. Last season they finished with an overall record of 17-12, 11-7 in conference play, finishing second in the Southwest Division, but are looking to make a run this year as they return a key group and add a lot of experience to the court. So Coach, let's talk about this 2024 team. You're returning your whole starting lineup, which is not something that happens year to year. Talk about adding a key group of guys here.
We've got a core of guys that we've had for a few years, ranging from some guys in their fifth year, and some guys joined us just last year. But in this climate of college basketball, it's very challenging to retain good players. We've been very fortunate to have our starting lineup and most of our rotation back. In addition to all five starters back, Kennedy Willis sat last year with a season-ending injury in October. He's been playing at a very high level for us, as seen by his performance at Louisville. But these three guys to my right are, we're really lucky to have guys at different positions be among the best players in our league. And as a coach, it makes it a little bit easier when you have players that not only understand the culture you're trying to build, but they live it. We always want to have a player-led team, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's rewarding to see some of these guys where they came in, whether they're from high school transfers, and see where they are right now. And just very, very fortunate to have this group of young men in our program.
Absolutely, and on top of the returners, you added 6 new athletes, 4 freshmen, 2 transfers. So what have they added to the court in the preseason?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that we want to do is add winning. I think we try to recruit to a certain, we've got a lot of winners in our program that know what sacrifice look like, and the strength of our team is depth and we've got quite a few guys that can impact us in a number of positions. We're very fortunate with our level of retention with our players that we really didn't need any guys to come in, and we weren't really recruiting a starter. We were recruiting guys that we felt like needed, whether it be a year or a few years, to get acclimated to how we play and how we do things. So we signed 4 freshmen, all come from winning programs, all have shown flashes of really good basketball. But the number one thing what we try to do is get those guys that we could have a year to learn from these guys. We tried to layer positions and say, hey, we weren't recruiting over any of these guys. These are our guys, but a year for our younger guys to learn how to be a college athlete, how to be a student athlete, how to conduct themselves on and off the court, live with discipline, things of that nature. That's what we tried to do. And I've been very proud of the freshmen. The first semester is the hardest. And those guys are learning how to lift, and they really get in the gym with these guys, and they're learning how to do this the Young Harris way. Our 2 transfers, we believe that they're going to help us. Both of them have battled injury. Roderick Gardner is a 6'6", powerful inside-outside player. Was one of the best offensive rebounders in the Florida Junior College League, which was among the best in the country. And he's battled some injury. And then a point guard that we brought in, John Maxwell, is probably one of the fastest players in our program, probably one of our best on-ball defenders. But he came in with a broken wrist. So he's really only on week 2 or 3 of full-on contact play. So those guys will need a little time. And again, fortunately for us, we have a big bulk of our scoring and minutes and guys that have been doing this for a couple years together. So those guys they can acclimate at their own pace, which we've not always had.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really solid group here. And so between the 3 of you guys, this will be your second year playing all together. You really connected well on the court last year. So Karl, I'll start with you. Walk me through, from an athlete perspective, the team dynamic, team culture that this group has right now.
Yeah, it's just really important bringing back so many guys that we did. If you have, looking at my first few years here, we're having to bring in 8 to 9 to 7 guys, and it's hard to mend and gel with different guys in the locker room and things like that with different personalities. But with bringing, this many returners back, we kind of just went back into practice and we all knew how each other played and we all gelled off each other, and it just makes the whole process a lot easier. And it makes being the team chemistry and, weights and things outside of basketball a lot easier and more fun too, because, now we've all been together for quite some time. We've logged a lot of minutes together, so it's just real important to come back together and being able to play together.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a really family-oriented and close-knit group. So, Karl, now I'll move to you. You've been playing with Karl and under direction of Coach Currier now for 5 years, and not every athlete gets to experience that. So I'm sure as these years have progressed, your relationship has also progressed. Talk on that.
It's definitely been, we had our ups and downs, but the main thing is Coach Currier, honestly, man, he just kept me and Karl together and said, by the time we get to our about senior year, 5th year, everything gonna come together, man. I just trusted the work, honestly. Me and Karl, since our freshman year, we came in, we just did what Coach asked, and our role just grown from there throughout the years. But it's really Coach Currier, man. He's been holding it down for us, man. It's a blessing to have him.
Yeah, and talking about on-the-court chemistry, Kolbe, it seemed like you were kind of the facilitator last year. You had the team high with 77 assists. So talk about how you're able to make the offense click and really just work together with all these guys on the court.
Yeah, well, first off, these guys beside me make my job a lot easier. It's pretty easy to get that many assists when you have so many weapons on the floor. Karl Chavis is a paint touch. He's a slasher. He's one of the best in the conference. Karl Cleveland, one of the best post players, and then Kolbe Ashe, one of the best shooters and 3-level scorers. And then we got a lot of other guys that do a lot of the good things. I would just say that, and then with as many returners as we have, our guys know what to do, what their role is, and we all have one common goal, and that is to win basketball games. So,
what a selfless answer. That's great. It really shows like the character of your group. So, Coach, I'll move back to you. Conference Carolinas just came out with the preseason poll and the rankings and listed players to watch for each team, and the 3 that were listed for Young Harris were both the Karls here and Cole. So talk about what your expectations are from this year and how they're going to make an impact in the conference.
Yeah, I think for us, we've got a veteran group. I think we've been very process oriented. We've just kind of said, hey, let's be better today than we were yesterday. Let's be better tomorrow than we are today. Our guys have done a really good job of stacking days. We've had a really good preseason. I think right now, with a couple of these guys, just managing health has been a big one for us, and keeping guys mentally and physically fresh and healthy. I think in terms of expectations, for us, I think we want to play our best basketball. We're going to be required to do that, and we're playing a very difficult schedule early, playing a lot on the road. But I think at the end of the day, every coach wants to put their players in the best position for them to be comfortable, be confident, and excel. We've been working on that a lot. We've spent a lot of time on the offense recently. We've had two scrimmages and the exhibition. I think we've been in discovery mode. We want to learn about our team. What do we do well? What are things that we need to work on? So I just think for us is we're going to stick to, we want to be better today than we were yesterday. And, the next thing that we're doing is the most important thing. Today's practice is, I think if we take care of that process, the results will follow. And I think that's what these guys have been doing for the last few years.
For sure, and you mentioned one of the most exciting things that you guys got to do is when you traveled to Louisville and played a big Division I opponent. So if you guys could talk on what that experience was like for you as athletes.
Yeah, I have to say from my perspective, it was good for a lot of our guys. Louisville's very talented. They brought in a lot of good guys, and so it was a good game for our guys to experience that. And one thing that I talked about in the interview after that is one of our mottos that we use a lot is through adversity and through the season, we might bend, but we're not going to break. And it was good to see a lot of guys on the bench, and at the end of the game to root on those younger guys when they got in, and just being able to see that team chemistry was there even when things weren't going our way. I think that's real important for our guys.
I definitely thought it was a good experience for everybody, because not everybody gets to see a D1 opponent with that type of athletes, and I think it was a good feeling to get guys' confidence up. So going throughout the conference this year, when we play everybody, it shouldn't be no biggie to us. We should be able to run through everybody we see, because we've seen the best of the best at that point.
For sure, and it sounded like a really rewarding experience. And Coach, that's awesome that you had past connections. I was able to set up this. So how does playing a big Division I opponent like Louisville prepare you for the regular season?
Yeah, I think the message to the guys was, you know, we don't control the score. We did not even scout Louisville. We just made it about us. I think the big thing that I wanted out of that experience was the team that got on the bus in Young Harris and went to Louisville. I didn't want that same team dynamic coming home from Louisville to Young Harris. I wanted to see our group be more cohesive. I wanted to see us take steps in growth and connectivity. And I felt like that experience, we were able to get some confidence from it, but I felt like the fabric of our team strengthened from that. Karl mentioned, you know, we're going to bend, but we're not going to break. It would have been easy to break in that first half. You know, they made a bunch of threes. The score was run up. But then we came back and we won the first media timeout segment. We scored over 30 points in the paint against Louisville, and that doesn't happen a lot. I mean, they played a Division I opponent this week, and they held that team to 3 made baskets in the first half. So you look at those opportunities to find nuggets of confidence for our players. All 3 of these guys played at a high level. Kennedy Willis had a really good game. We've seen that help our trajectory. We came in after that experience and put together some of our best practices that we've had. And I agree with what these guys are saying in terms of you get strength through adversity, and we will not see another team like Louisville, and they really helped us to improve. So we're very grateful to Louisville. Those guys are good friends. We practice in their practice facility. We got all access at the KFC Yum Center. So it was a terrific experience, but I was most proud at how our guys handled adversity. And then the group coming back from Louisville has had unbelievable practices. We've made great strides, and I think we would all agree we're a different team today than we were when we played Louisville, and that experience helped shape us.
That's really great to hear. And now talking lastly, in the conference, last year you could say was kind of our debut year as a school in the conference, and you guys did really well, but are really looking to make a run this year with the return of such key players and experience like I had mentioned. So if you guys could just talk on what the overall mindset is from the locker room heading into the season.
Yeah, you know, we talk a lot about hanging banners within our practices and our programs, and if you look around in this gym, there's none. So, I mean, a big thing that we talk about is hanging a banner this year and going very deep and within the Conference Carolinas Championship, and then going to the NCAA tournament and winning games. Not just going, but we want to win games in the tournament. And I think that's a big staple for our program and a lot of our guys and coaching staff. So.
Yeah, kind of the same thing I would just say to compete for a conference championship. You know, some of the other schools that do pretty well are returning a lot of guys like Pembroke, Chowan, teams like that. So, you know, it's not going to be easy, but I definitely feel like we can make a run for it.
All right, well, before we wrap up, do you guys have any other closing comments or regards?
We're excited about this season. We're excited about the challenges ahead. You know, we really have put together one of the most competitive non-conference schedules in the country. We're playing the team that won our region this weekend. They just beat the #1 team in the country down in Florida. We're playing the team that won the Peach Belt, the South Atlantic, and obviously the Conference Carolinas. So we're going to really test our guys early. And we're going to lean on the veteran leadership of our group to manage those adverse situations. And I think we're going to really focus on coming in every day, getting better, and really want to encourage everyone in the community and on campus to come out and support these guys. They're in the gym from 6 a.m. to midnight, it feels like, and they're putting in what we call lonely work. There's a great passion and there's a great Young Harris pride in our program. So I want to encourage as many people to come out and support these guys as possible when we're playing at home.
Absolutely. Do you guys have anything else?
I would just say that we're really appreciative for all the people that come out to the games and stuff. You know, after the games and stuff, we try to see as many people as we can. You know, we couldn't do what we do without all of our fans and supporters and the people within the Mountain Lion Club. So I just want to give a shout out to those people. We might not have a lot of time after the games and stuff to come say, but we really do appreciate everyone coming out to the games, and that includes student athletes and members of Young Harris College. So we just appreciate all the support.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of the preseason video. We are so excited to see you back on the court this year, and make sure to catch the Mountain Lions when they hit the road this Friday, November 8th, when they play Georgia College at 1:30.